The latest Forbidden and Limited list brought back a huge friend or foe, depending how you look at it, and that is an amazing card in Masterpiece, the true Dracoslaying King. What a card it is, and I'm excited to see how our duelist will manage to just make it adapt into 2025 Yu-Gi-Oh card game. But this, I think, along with some Quarter Century secret rares coming in Quarter Century Stampede, can allow us to take a trip down to a very special place for me, which was the 2017 World Championship in Tokyo, Japan. Because back in the day, that event, which I think is also our dear Ed Templar, our favorite World Championship ever, was taken by storm by dinosaurs, and in particular the card that shined was Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. And in the top 4 of that event, here are the decks that were left into competition. It was 3 different decks, as there were 2 dinosaur decks which would later on face off against each other in the finals. But then there were 2 fellow Italians in the other side. One of them was me representing, Masterpiece and in general True Draco. Which was a very unique deck, more trap heavy, trying to fight these combo decks with a controlling style, using cards like Skill Drain, Lost Turn, and it was definitely an interesting deck. But the other one, which was also the guy I played against at the European Championship in the finals, Michael Forner, playing Invoked. So what did you think of the deck back in the day?
I mean, the deck was really nice, especially because you got to special summon, a lot of different monsters and fusion summons as well. So I really like the interactions of the deck, and also like the meta was super, different. And if I have to pick one of those decks, honestly, I will pick True Dracos, just because I have, very good memories as well with Masterpiece. But I really feel like in general these decks really fit well in that meta game. And the Invoked in general, I think, was super consistent. I think this was one of the main characteristics of the deck. And we also saw back then with Michael Forner, his play styles. Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely, yeah. And it was a special event for sure, because it was the first time ever where, outside of competing in the WCQ events, players from all over the world could qualify due to earning points throughout the season. And I think, maybe I'm biased, but led to one of the absolutely most stacked ever World Championship, with players such as Billy Brake, Joshua Smith, Foreman, Sala, a lot of different players representing. Even Jesse Cotton was there, and obviously we had some absolute powerhouses from the OCG as well. At the time, Shunsuke was back-to-back world champion. Knocked him out, unfortunately, but in the end, it was such a good event, and I'm glad that we still have some of the content from back in the day. So if you have missed any and want to just see how those cards played out back in the day, you can do so. While at the same time, as mentioned, I'm really curious to see how you guys will manage to adapt this new inclusion and this very big return into your deck. So make sure to just pull out some Quarter Century secret rare Masterpiece from Quarter Century Stampede. The latest Forbidden and Limited list update brought back one of the most iconic fusion spells of all time in Brilliant Fusion. And now, thanks to Quarter Century Stampede, you can upgrade it to a Quarter Century secret rare. But I think it's only fitting that we give you guys a little bit of a background and history on why this card was forbidden in the first place and what made it so iconic. Well, the reason is that as Shadow Fusion and Branded Fusion has taught us, fusion summoning by sending materials from your deck to the graveyard is quite powerful, and among the different targets, Gem Knight, Seraphonite, allowing you to send any light monster is really what made this card shine. And we thought it's only fitting that next to it we would put one of the premier targets currently forbidden, Fairy Tail Snow.
Yeah, it was one of these cards that was played alongside with Brilliant Fusion in the 60 card decks, alongside that Grass Looks Greener. and the index such as Infernoids or Paleozoics, and when the card was sent to the graveyard, basically you could activate it time and again throughout the game, and it was a great card, especially because of consistency. And on the other side, I think it was also very well paired with another deck that you know very well, right?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I do think that the last time, I mean, at least I played personally Brilliant Fusion was back in 2016, YCS Bochum in this ABC Dragon Buster deck. Essentially, the main idea was that not only that it allows you to, you know, add and send these light monsters from the deck to the graveyard, but Gem Knight Seraphinite also gives you an additional normal summon, which, if you look at Union Anger, arguably one of the best field spells of all time, it allows you to have even more synergy, go for an XYZ immediately, a rank 4, and then just advance your game even faster at the cost of just, you know, at least back in the day, including one copy of, you know, Gem Knight Garnet in your deck. But, I mean, we all know that sometimes you opt not to draw into it and it all goes according to plan. But yeah, I think the creativity is going to be for all of you guys to just experiment with Brilliant Fusion and how it can change your decks in 2025. I know for a fact that, you know, Jesse Cotton will be celebrating on one angle as Fairy Tail Snow is its favorite card, and now finally having it in Quarter Century Secret Rare, I'm sure will bring him a lot of joy, so as hopefully it will to you guys. So again, just try it for yourself, just check some of these releases in Quarter Century Stampede and use your creativity to figure out what to do better with these cards.